How serious is the risk of US debt ceiling default, and how to protect stocks, get out into cash, and get back in after. So I did a whole hedging video, but I think it's on Patreon only. It was a hedging course, so I had to do things like hedge the S&P, hedge assets, hedge stocks. I'm personally currently hedged pretty much most of my stuff right now, with the exception of Tesla. But regarding the debt ceiling, let's just focus on that for now, because the other question is a longer topic. This is from the media. This is from Axios, and again, take it with, or is it Wall Street Journal? I'm not sure. No, it is Axios, yes. The Congressional Budget Office has warned the US may run out of funds by the first 2 weeks of June. Yes, we know that. No surprise there. Talk about stating the obvious. But if the debt limit is not raised and adjusted, it's a protection for the federal deficit, which they expect to be, from this article, I think $1.5 trillion. I expect it to be $2 trillion. Is going to be a serious problem. So everybody's kind of like, that's what mainstream media does. It tries to scare you into submission to do things that you shouldn't actually do. So we all know the debt ceiling will be raised. We all know that debt is just going to spiral out of control for the next lifetime, or until the Great Reset. But the risk of default will cause some headaches. First of all, a US debt ceiling default is a serious risk. It's kind of happened. There's been technical defaults before. Biden says there hasn't been any, but there have. But that's a separate issue. Check out Twitter for that and community notes. But this would significantly impact the US economy and global financial markets. In addition, US default would harm the US government's credibility as a borrower, which means anybody giving the US government money would charge a lot more. That's why you see things like credit default swap rates going through the roof right now. In addition, US dollar status as the world's reserve currency could be tarnished badly, making it very hard for US companies to do business abroad. All these impacts are kind of tremendous when you think about it, and horrendous. And a default would erode investor confidence in the US and other global governments, leading to a global financial crisis, because the dollar is the reserve currency. Imagine the panic when you find out all your businesses in dollars and the dollar just went down the toilet. It would be chaos of the highest order. So Congress basically needs to act swiftly and fix this. But there's good news. So President Biden is off on an 8-day jolly to Indo-Pac region. And why would he go on an 8-day trip at such a critical time? So it shows you he has confidence, he has everything well in hand and fully under control. Meanwhile, Goldman Sachs, they said the real risk to the US dollar is far from potentially protracted debt ceiling negotiations. This is all not good, according to Goldman Sachs. But President Joe Biden is traveling, so it's not resolved, but I think he has it well in hand. You guys make your own decision with that data. There are some problems, however, though, and I've been talking about the fact that tax revenue would be crap in 2023 because nobody made any money in 2022 and they made a ton in 2021. Therefore, the government typically expects things to get better and better every year, but no. Last year was a disaster. And this is, it shows you here, the plunging tax revenue accelerates debt ceiling deadline. So think of your household being the US government. You're waiting for your paycheck to hit, and all of a sudden it's half. You go, how much do I pay my mortgage, utility bills, car payments, insurance, kids' school, food, all that type of stuff? That's the problem. So now the debt ceiling has actually been brought further. That's from the Wall Street Journal. So a lot of crappy stuff is happening at the same time. But again, maybe everything's fine. I think they will do it. It's just this whole brinkmanship, dog and pony show, gambling. The right want the left to cut spending, and the left want to keep spending. And that's kind of where the impasse is.